Hey, welcome. You ever stop and think about all those numbers a company generates? The sales, the costs, the profits. Well, they don't just vanish into a spreadsheet. They're actually telling a story. The real question is, who's the story for? Today, we're diving into the two very different audiences for a company's financial data.
Right, so let's get into it. Who's actually spending their time looking at these financial reports, and what are they trying to get out of it? You might think it's just a bunch of accountants, but really, the answer splits the world in two, each with a totally different mission.
And here it is, the big divide. On one side, you have the people inside the company. Think of them like the pilots in the cockpit, using live data to fly the plane. And on the other side, you've got the people on the outside, looking at the company's performance to decide if they want to get on board.
Okay, let's start with those folks inside the company walls. Like we said, they're the pilots. They've got their hands on the controls, and they need real-time, up-to-the-second information to make sure the business is headed in the right direction.
So what do we mean by an internal user? Well, these are the managers, the executives, the people on the ground floor making things happen. They get the raw, unfiltered data, and they use it to make all sorts of critical decisions every single day.
And here's a look at who we're talking about. You've got the president, John Smith, who's looking at the entire company's health. Then you've got VPs like Susan Jones in marketing, asking, hey, are my ad campaigns actually working? And Tom Allen in production, who's probably obsessing over every single penny of manufacturing costs. They each need a very specific slice of the financial pie to do their job right.
And listen, they aren't asking these big philosophical questions about the future of the industry. No, their questions are immediate. They're urgent. They're the kind of questions you have to answer to keep the business running smoothly today and tomorrow. First up, and this one's a biggie. It's the most fundamental question there is. Can we make payroll? Do we have enough cash in the bank right now to pay our people? For the team inside, this is a constant, non-negotiable priority.
But it's not just about keeping the lights on. They're also thinking about how to grow. That VP of production, Tom Allen, he's probably asking this all the time. Do we have the cash to buy that new machine that's going to make us faster and more efficient? That's a huge decision about the company's future, and it's made from the inside.
And then you zoom out to the biggest question of them all. Based on everything we know, our costs, our sales, our profit margins, where do we place our bets for the long haul? This is the kind of high-stakes decision that the president, John Smith, is wrestling with using all that detailed internal data. All right, now let's completely switch gears and step outside the company. If the insiders are the pilots, then the outsiders are the judges, the critics, and maybe even the fans in the stands, all watching and evaluating the company's performance from a distance.
An external user, then, is pretty much anyone on the outside looking in. They're not running the company day to day, but wow, do they make important decisions about it, like whether to invest their money, lend the company money, or even partner with them. They're relying on the official, published financial statements to make their call, which is exactly why those reports are so standardized. It's about creating a level, trustworthy playing field for everyone.
And you can really boil this external group down to two key players. First, you have investors. They're trying to figure out if buying a piece of this company is a smart bet that will pay off down the road. Then you've got bankers and lenders. Their main concern is risk. They're basically asking one simple question. If we give this company our money, are we going to get it back?
So, as you can imagine, their questions are totally different from the internal teams. They couldn't care less about the tiny day-to-day operational details. They're looking at the big picture, trying to gauge the company's overall financial health to make some serious financial commitments.
For any investor, this is question number one. They go straight to the bottom line. Is this company actually making money? Is it consistent? And most importantly, does it look like it's going to grow and give me a good return on my investment?
And for the banker, this is their entire world. They are digging through those financial statements to judge one thing: creditworthiness. They're looking for stability, for reliable cash flow, for anything that proves this company is a safe bet and will pay back its loan on time with interest.
So, we've met the two teams, the pilots on the inside and the judges on the outside. But why does this distinction actually matter so much? Why is it so fundamental to how business works?
It really all comes down to this. The whole point is the type of decision they're making. Internal users, the team in the cockpit, they use all that messy, real-time data to make operating decisions, how to run the business today. External users, the investors and the banks, they use the clean, summarized public data to make investing decisions, where to put their money for the future. Two different audiences, two totally different games.
And that brings us to a final thought. Imagine someone handed you the complete financial books for any company you wanted, total, unrestricted access. Whose shoes would you step into first? Would you jump into that pilot seat and start asking those urgent operational questions? Or would you step back, take the view from the outside like an investor, and ask those big picture, long-term questions? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.